What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome in to the Frost Esports channel. We have our weekly tournament, the Blizzard number 58, now live. It is your boy Cobra in the booth, joined. But hold on, is that Dream, the man, the myth, the legend, with us here today? Dream, what is going on?
Hello, Cobra. How is it going? I am the one and only Dream from the Minecraft speedruns, and we are just about ready to get into some Rocket League action. Of course, normally I am more of a Minecraft speedrunner myself, but today I'm going to be hopping on the mic for Rocket League. So, Cobra, I'm hoping you can tell me a little bit about the game as we go.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we are blessed, truly blessed, by your presence here at Frost Esports. But we have some wonderful action here. Obviously, the tournament has been going on, but we are starting here with the winners semi-finals here. So we have the Bedwetters versus OK, and they've been doing much better than OK here. They've had a very clean run up into this point. A lot of 2-0s, a lot of sweeps, in this best of 3 fashion. So, kind of taking a look at this bracket, do you feel one way or the other? Do you feel like Bedwetters might have the edge? Do you feel like OK is going to play better in this matchup here?
Well, I just found out that my nameplate changed, so that officially forces the personality switch. I am no longer Dream. I am Star Coin Hero, and I'm joining my good friend Cobra on the mic. But to answer your question, I mean, I have seen the Bedwetters play in these tournaments many a time before, and they've all done really well every single time. So got a feeling they will be taking the first series. But one thing about the Bedwetters is I rarely see them win it all. I think I might have seen them win it once. I don't even know if I've seen them win it once, but they've always gotten pretty far. They've either made it to the grand finals or the lower bracket finals, but I'm still not too sure if they have won it. They've gotten so far every single time, but they just can never seem to put their hands on the big trophy. But we're going to see if that can change the day, as the Bedwetters are on the blue side, Team OK on the orange. And early off, the Bedwetters getting some possession in the orange half.
Ooh, nice little chip here, and it looks like the defense will be able to get back to this one. But, to your point, as, kind of being, the bridesmaid, but never the bride here, maybe this is kind of a chance for this team to kind of break out, get a little bit closer to the top of that prize pool here. Again, $100 on the line here, 70 for the winning team. So you want to be on, the top side of this bracket. You want to try and get as far as you can to get that game advantage in the finals and gonna reveal the first goal here. 1-0 here to the Bedwetters.
Revealing the net, just like Dream just revealed his face. 1-0 for the side of Bedwetters, and it does not take them long to open up that orange net and get OK's defense looking a little less than OK. We're going to hope that they can, of course, try to up their defense a little bit, because right there, just a little bit of an error on the back line was made. Not super crucial, but it ended up in a goal, and of course, you do not want that. You want to keep your opponent as low on the scoreboard as possible. But the Bedwetters are not a team that wants that to happen, and it shows by the way they play. I mean, just look at how aggressive they are. This is the first time that this ball has seen the blue half with any meaning this entire game, and it immediately gets saved over to the other side and booted back down to the orange half.
Yeah, great response here from OK. The first part of this game, they were seeing a lot of that pressure, which led to that defensive breakdown. But now looking a little bit more sure of themselves, boots on the ground, if you will. Now they're starting to really get downfield in formation, have some dangerous looks on net. But the Bedwetters, yet again, on transition, they're really trying to, pepper the net with multiple shot opportunities here. They're fighting for the lives, trying to keep track of their boost as well, but they will dish it back to the corner. It'll be up to Reveal, the goal scorer for the first one of this series, trying to get active here again, but again, denied at the goal line. We've seen, quite a few opportunities for Bedwetters, but OK, even though they get close to the net, I haven't seen many shots on target.
Not yet. They still got half the game to do so, but they definitely have to get on the net a little bit better right now. Okay, only has 3 shots. That will not put a 4th on, but it is off of the backboard. That forces the move made by the Bedwetters.
Oh.
But still, Bedwetters immediate clear back. The setup is there for Jathan. The waterfall falls down, but Geoids is just not ready to receive. And now this is going to give OK a pretty okay look. Oh. That's going to give him a great look off of the whiff. Preston with a long-range shot ties this game up. 2 minutes remaining, and we are even.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you want to see. You know, they just have to force Bedwetters to give them a little bit of space, force them to kind of respect that play. They haven't been doing it so far. That's the first time they actually get punished on one of those accurate clearances, but we'll see if that changes at all the offensive Bedwetters. I have a feeling that they're going to kind of stick to their guns here and try to be as aggressive as possible, but this might buy a little bit of room for OK to move up into that offensive third just a slight bit more.
And that one's going to get past the defense. Ooh. Preston double tap is there, but the angle's just not sharp enough. It's off of the backboard and out. Bliss with another shot put on target. Dribs tries the redirect, sneaks one in, and with that, Team OK take the lead. And that was looking a little awkward for OK, but luckily for them, they managed to sneak it in, and that'll actually count as an own goal.
Yeah, Dribs, wonderful recovery there. You know, as they're rotating away from the play, notices that there is just that sliver of an opening to at least get another opportunity on net. Does the backflip, able to recover quite nicely there, and then, you know, with a little bit of help, but I think it would have been going in regardless. Had to play the ball here. Off the top, Bliss maybe another opportunity, but Geoid's not going to have this one, trying to get up and out of it. And all of a sudden, OK, forcing quite a bit of pressure. Has Bedwetters looking a little bit jumpy here on the back line as we get into the last minute of play. Preston moving forward. Nice pass upfield. Redirection on target, but it is going to be revealed, at least stopping the pressure for now. Bliss back to the middle of the field. Has a shooter, and it's Preston here. 3-1, and OK, 3 unanswered goals here with only 40 seconds left to play.
Preston gets his 2nd of the game, and that gets some insurance for OK. Bedwetters starting to look a little bit off of their game. They started off so hot, owning the orange half of the field, but ever since, it has been OK with 3 straight goals. And the Bedwetters have quite a bit of work to do if they want a chance in this game, number 1. But realistically, not sure if they can come back. I mean, 30 seconds to go, down by 2. They're going to need a miracle. And right now, they're struggling to get it out of their own half. And I think that just says everything that it needs to.
Yeah, I think it's just that they're lacking that little bit of control coming from their defensive side, because now there's so much pressure here from OK, and Preston looking alive here, the hat trick on that one. But now there's so much pressure that they're not really finding that adequate space that I feel like they had in that first minute and a half of play. Something that they're going to have to come into game number 2, do or die situation here. But hopefully they'll make some adjustments in the next game.
Yeah, we're just going to have to see, and this is a best of 3, so there's not too much time to adapt to your opponents. You got to make a lot of adjustments on the fly because, of course, you lose one game, you got one more, and then you are out and down to the lower bracket. So, Bedwetters, you either win this one or you go down to the lower bracket, and you definitely don't want to go down to the lower bracket this early. You want to try to stay in there as long as possible, try to ride the wave all the way to the grand finals, but sometimes that's just not a possibility. And right now, it is looking very possible that the Bedwetters will not be able to stay in the upper bracket for long if OK play the way that they played in the second half of the game. The first half was a little bit shaky. They were making some pretty common mistakes, but overall, they really smoothed out the kinks in the second half, and they played perfect.
Yeah, and I think the Bedwetters, unfortunately, they were just read like a book in the second half of the game. I think OK made some adjustments. Bedwetters really didn't have a response here in the end of that game. So it's really up to them to try and reset the tempo or make some adjustments, because we're seeing Preston get a little bit hot-handed here, and you really have to kind of work on your own game to stop a player like that from basically going into takeover mode here. But lower bracket, scary times. It is best of ones for quite a while before you see the daylight of getting back into the winner's side of it. So have to stay out of that if you want your chances here to stay alive in this tournament.
Yeah, you want to keep your chance as good as possible for as long as possible. And like you said, for most of the lower bracket, it is best of ones, and best of ones are a scary, scary place. I mean, you let in one fluke goal, and that could end your tournament, and you got to try again next week. Because that's just the glory of it. Best of three, they're pretty similar, but best of one's a whole different ball game. I mean, they're scary. I think they will scare anyone. I don't care how brave you are. Best of one at this level, that could go either way. And honestly, I would just quit. I'm not that brave.
Yeah, it is definitely a daunting task ahead, but both these teams now kind of looking forward to this game, trying. We can't think about that, can't play with fear, at least not at this stage here, but pretty even in the first minute and change here. There hasn't been too many remarkable opportunities for either side. And I think Bedwetters, now with a little bit of time, I'm sure they were able to talk it over, and now having a little bit clear of a game plan here. Reveal, goal scorer for Bedwetters in game number 1, going to look a little bit more to the young player to get it going here. Now, not a lot of boost. Will get the corner. A little bit of room to work here. Over Bliss. Good challenge. Not a lot in terms of support here in the middle of the field. Now, the transition play on for OK here. Very quick to these corners, and we're seeing Bliss. Now the waterfall, not quite the read they're looking for. A little bit awkward on the back line, and Preston, their 4th of the series.
4 goals now for Preston, and OK, that was definitely a little bit awkward on that finish. Thankfully, Preston was there to get that finish, but I mean, if Preston whipped it as well, that would have been a huge, huge breakaway for the Bedwetters. Thankfully for the OK team, Preston did get the bump on that ball right there. Teammate, and it's might lead to a goal. It's going to lead to a shot, but it does not open the scoring just yet for the Bedwetters, and they remain at 0 halfway through now. And OK actually looking to add one more on double tap. Actually, Bliss going to abandon that one. Oh, Reveal had a great chance at the redirect, and it forced Bliss to make a save. Thankfully, they're able to make it, and it forces Bedwetters in an awkward 3-man up position, and it gives OK control for the time being.
Now, Bedwetters, the favorite by far here, and we see that they're trying to make some adjustments here. They're really leaning into the demos, but they're not really opening up the space that they like to see right now. OK is doing a lot of great work to keep the ball basically away from the face of net. But Reveal, moving it to the other side. Bliss will have it, but gets bumped out of the way. Geoids off the top, and the shooter taken out, multiple away on this one. And all of a sudden, cars are exploding on every facet of the field right now.
These two teams starting to get aggressive. They really want to win. Of course, Bedwetters, they are down, so they're trying to implement those demos into their games. And OK, not liking getting demoed, implementing the demos by themselves. They're doing exactly what the Bedwetters are doing. But the Bedwetters, this is just a really nice play shot. This was read by Dribs, but he just doesn't get there in time. Jathan slides that coin right on into the slot and ties game 2 up.
Yeah, I might not know how to pronounce that name, but I do know how to tell a good play when I see it. And that is just wonderful control the entire way. Reveal trying to add on to it, go back to back, and they might have it here again. Jathan not able to get on the other side of it. Covered well by OK, and all of a sudden, the tables have turned here, and it looks like there's a lot of pressure here as it looks like, okay, maybe a little bit overwhelmed on the back line. They're starting to hurry a lot of their touches. They're not getting those surefire, short, collected bouts in the back line. And all of a sudden, this game looking a lot closer here.
Okay, getting a little bit nervous. The touches that they're making do not need to be made, especially when there could be so much more better touches made. Dribs puts one on target. Reveal makes the save. And now, okay, forced to get a reset. Preston tries to put one on line, but Jathan makes that save yet again. Still a very dangerous spot for the Bedwetters. Bliss tries to read that pass, but it just doesn't go. The pass off. Jathan rolls it in. Bedwetters take the lead. 11 ticks left on the clock. And I think they might have game 2.
Yeah, finally got their moment to break out there. They had to survive for what seemed like hours on that back line. They get their opportunity. It was a 2v1 situation, a wonderful pass that kind of drew out that last defender. That could win them the game here, as I don't think there's going to be another clear opportunity for the side of OK. Ball will touch the ground, and we will get a game number 3 here.
What better way to start off the broadcast than going all the way to game number 3? This is a win or lose situation. You either win, you keep going, you're on to the winners finals, you secure a spot in the winners finals. You can at least have another shot at getting a third place finish, as it secures a third place. Yeah, it secures a third place finish if you get into the winners final. And the loser goes down to the lower bracket, and they will have to make their run through the dreaded lower bracket, the land of the best of ones and the unseen players of the tournament. But we're going to have to see which team will go. And honestly, after seeing both of these games, I feel like when the Bedwetters were going, I think they are the better team. When OK gets going, they are a very good team. But the Bedwetters, when they're firing on all cylinders like they were in that last game, I don't think OK has what it takes. I hope I'm wrong, because I want to see a good game. I want to see a competitive game as close as I can get, but I just don't see OK taking this after what I saw from game 2 from these Bedwetters.
Yeah, it's really interesting because I think both of these teams, they have those moments where, it's really those defensive lapses that kind of let them down. I think both of them are good enough at generating some offensive pressure, but I think it's really their clearance game that, starts to struggle for both of these teams when the going gets tough. And it really depends on what team is able to kind of go with their game plan and put on a lot of pressure. And we've seen that this kind of has gone back and forth, this battle of really kind of staking a claim on the other side's defensive third here, and Reveal opening up the scoring here off a really tough clearance here. But it'll be Bedwetters working with a lead here in this game.
33 seconds left, and the timer starts for OK. They've got to turn it off here. They got to hit that snooze button. But the Bedwetters, they want to stay in bed as long as possible because it is mysteriously warm.
Reveal will be moving forward, and again, now they have to keep this one close. And we saw a pretty chaotic play style from Bedwetters as they were moving forward. They were getting those demolitions all over the field. Now a little bit more calm, a little bit more controlled, and now that they have that lead, I think they know that they have a little bit more room to play. Reveal. Another clearance here to Bliss. Bliss, light touch, not a lot of boost to follow this one up. Jathan, like for someone in the middle, it's going to be just a little bit too high. Geoids. Pushing it back, no support. But look at the midfield play here from Jathan. They're really pinning this team back. Not a lot of places for them to go.
Too much, but OK. Do get it clear, but it lasts for maybe a half a second until the Bedwetters are able to clear back. But OK keeps it on the blue half for a little bit longer. The setup is there, but Bliss is a little too close, and that one's not going to go. Bedwetters in control once again. Reveal tries the setup, but Preston is just there. He's reading it. Bedwetters a little clumped up at the center line. Thankfully, they are able to get it away. It could have been dangerous because that third man was a little bit out of position, but okay. Does not have the position to make that play. But they do have the position to win that 50, take control, and put this ball in a dangerous spot for the Bedwetters. But the Bedwetters, the defense is on a different level than OK. They're able to clear it. The offense of OK starting to fire up. The double tap almost lands. But the defense of Bedwetters staying strong and clearing this ball out and putting some pressure off.
Yeah, they're starting to get some real good touches here, OK? And you have a feeling that, they might not get, a ton of good looks, but I think they're going to get one golden opportunity, and it really will straighten down to whether or not they will be able to convert on that chance. They still have plenty of time here, 2 minutes to keep this game at a one-score affair here. But it's really going to be up to, I think it's going to be Preston yet again. I mean, we saw the goal explosion for them in game number 1. So we'll have to see if they could, recreate that performance here. But it's going to be Dribs actually to open it up here and tie it.
And honestly, I give all of that credit to Bliss, though, on that setup. Flicks it over the player pushing the ball, and then a glorious touch to get it off the backboard, set it up for Dribs. Beautiful tap by Dribs, but I mean Bliss. Perfect setup. It does not get any better than that. Hence why I use the word perfect. And OK, they're looking a little bit more than OK. They have just tied this game up. They got a little bit of momentum on their side. And they just got to keep the Bedwetters away and try to score one more time to take this series.
Yeah, they're starting to go back to this demo mentality. I think both teams really going to disrupt the other. And I think now Boost is at a premium. Pass down to Dribs. Dribs will get blocked away by Jathan Jewett. From the corner. 1 minute left to play. Again, it's going to be basically denied here. And this is going to stay on the blue half. Reveal. Tiny bit of boost. We'll be able to get a second look here from the corner. Does get the carry. And the challenge. Multiple there. But it's just they're really trying to manufacture this goal here.
That they are. Geoids passes it down. Jathan almost puts it in. Bedwetters trying every move in their arsenal to smash this one in as we're nearing the 30-second mark, and the mark has passed. And Team OK with control, with possession, and it is the Bedwetters that are in danger. But they don't stay in danger for long. That is what makes this team so good. The way that they always come away with possession. They get the clears they need, and they just boot the ball away and put the other team in a bad spot. 5 seconds to go now, and Reveal gets it past them. Dribs will touch it down. And we're going into overtime for Game 3, golden goal territory. Here we go.
Going to be Reveal opening up from the corner. Again, we've seen so much impact from this player here. Now back to the midfield. Preston taken absolutely off the pitch here. These demos playing such a key role for this Bedwetters squad. Will it open up something on the offensive side? Bliss. Back to the side wall. Doesn't get the best touch on it. Geoids will send it all the way back for Preston. Looking to take care of it. Gets the carry. A lot of back and forth here. Not really a lot of design plays. Going to take an opportunity to, take a look at the goal line here. Nothing too dangerous, but this one up. Multiple there. Both will whiff on it, and Bliss looking for a light touch. And, I'm not really seeing much of an opening for either team here.
Yeah, right now these teams are just going back and forth. One of these teams have got to get some passes going. Bedwetters, of course, the first team to do so. And Geoids finds the first shot that has meaning. Preston with a nice fake. That's going to force Jathan to make a back pass. Reveal has an opportunity here. Dribs misses. Geoids pops it up. And Jathan is forced to make the play. It's off the goal post. and Preston makes the save off of the rebound shot from Reveal. And Team OK trying everything they can to stay alive. And they are alive for now, but the Bedwetters are just drowning OK. And eventually they have to break, and it might just be now! Somehow that ball gets hit away. This game stays alive. The ball gets popped up. Geoids cannot find the net, and now we're going back the other way.
They deeply needed that clearance. It was starting to look more and more scary every single time that they took a shot on net. They were 3-stacked all the way and just were able to make it out each and every time. 2 minutes have passed here in overtime, and both these teams do not want to drop down. And right now, OK, battling for all the boost, and that's all it's going to take. One touch in the midfield, too many, and Jathan will put it away. What a doink here. And they will move forward.
Dribs, that is unfortunate. There's no one back to get there in front of the goal in time. They just went a little bit too quickly on the commit. The right choice was made, but it was at the wrong time. And Jathan, they're going to flick it over them any day of the week. And Bedwetters, they take the game in overtime. 2-1 is the score. And I mean, man, both of those teams played really well in that third game. But like I said, when Bedwetters are firing at all cylinders, I don't think that they can be kept up with. And in this case, it holds true. They advance to the winners finals where they will face Aspyre and Cobra. You got any takeaways from that game?
Yeah, well, I think Bedwetters, it obviously took them a game to kind of get into it. I think, hopefully they'll look at their next opponent and kind of play the style that we saw in games number 2 and 3 a little bit quicker. If they're able to get those demolitions, because they were boost starving OK from the corners, from that midfield play, and they really dominated that overtime. They weren't allowing OK to get a breath. So if they're able to play that way, I think they have a really good chance against any team in this tournament. But they have to start out that way.
Yeah, and I mean, really quick, looking at some of the other teams that are still in it, we got Aspyre, which is another really good team. A few great players on there as well. OK, who we just saw, Illusion and Villainous down in the lower bracket, and a couple other really good teams. So Bedwetters definitely have their work cut out for them. It is not going to be an easy road, but I feel like if they just keep playing their game and just take their time, make the plays they need to do, get the passes going. I was seeing a couple of them, but I would like to see a little bit more. But just some things they need to work on. Overall, they played great. It took them a game to get into that mindset, but once they did, they were all gas and no break, and they just outlasted OK and sent them down to the lower brackets. But when we return, we will have the looks like we're not going to break just yet.
Yeah, I think we're going to get some just back-to-back action.
Yeah, we're going right into it. We're just carrying over into the next match. So getting a little bit more Rocket League action. We're just pushing on through it. We're going to get home. No, we're just kidding. But yeah, players are ready. We might as well just push on. There's no need to go to a break, take any downtime. Just let's get on into it. Next match is Bedwetters versus Aspyre, and I think this is actually going to have a huge advantage to the Bedwetters because, I mean, they just came off of a very competitive game. And Aspyre, they've had about 5 minutes to kind of chill off from their last match, so Bedwetters probably going to be a little bit warmer here. And I think we're actually ready to go. I don't know why I'm not in the lobby, but yeah, teams are ready. We are in the match, and
yeah,
we're going.
They are ready to go, and right now, yeah, I think you're absolutely right about that. That Bedwetters, maybe have a little bit of an advantage. They just got done playing. It's almost, basically the time that they would have waited to play another match in like a best-of-5 series. They're gonna still be warm. They don't really have a break here. Couple shots here for Bedwetters, and they're looking for some of those demos to open this up. But Aspyre, maybe have a little bit of time to watch the stream, maybe see their opponents as well if they're able to multitask like that. Rolling towards the net. Looks like it's going to be Sats trying to get the goal here across the face of net. Sent all the way back, corner, and away. And really the speed of this game, I think, already at another level. Both teams trying to really outpace the other early here.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the name of the game. Try to outpace the other team and just try to catch them lacking. If they cannot keep up with you, then you're probably going to have the advantage. Actually, I don't know why I said probably. You're going to have the advantage because you're just going to be able to do things faster. It doesn't matter what you're doing. If you can do it faster, you're probably going to have a better time unless the other team is just a genius that knows how to counter everything. But, I mean, I have not seen Aspyre play in quite a while. They could have just become Megamind, but we will see. Bedwetters, right now, they're keeping the pace up, and Aspyre, they're holding on pretty well, but not sure how long it will take. And, of course, Bedwetters just coming off of another game. They're going to be a little bit hotter so they can get things going quicker. So far, Aspyre, like I said, keeping up, but how long will it last? And honestly, once Aspyre gets going, they might be on another level here, as I completely forgot to mention that.
Yeah, Aspyre don't really seem too surprised with anything that Bedwetters is throwing at them here, but still even with half of the game passing here. Jathan, nice fake from the corner, but Gator will be the first one to it. No team really fully committing their offense to either side, so we're seeing, quite a few clears from the corner. We're seeing a lot of half chances. Jathan downfield, reveal has to be called off there. Doesn't have the boost to really balance that one. Gator over to Geoids. Geoids puts it near post. Alpha 23. Now we'll buy a little bit of time for their teammates to get some boost here. Really, that has been the key. I think buying time is something that Aspyre are doing really well. They're slowing down the game when necessary, able to kind of get things equal in their favor when it comes to the boost totals. And so far, we haven't really seen Bedwetters able to break through and get a clear chance.
We have not 3 shots only for the Bedwetters, and that shot right there will make it 5 for Aspyre, nearly doubling the shot count. But like you said, the team that can control the pace has the huge advantage because it forces the Bedwetters to play slow when they're caught on playing fast. But right there, just had a couple of whiffs, a little bit of a bad touch from Sats with a double commit whiff. Not what you want. That one's going to let in a goal about 90% of the time. So Aspyre, all you can do about that one is just try not to let it happen again. But sometimes those things happen. You have a malfunction here and there. You just got to work on it in the future. And thankfully, it didn't happen in overtime of Game 5.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, it's multiple things went wrong in one play. Obviously, there are moments where double commits just kind of naturally happen, but double commits and no one quite gets the touch that we're looking for, in front of a net, that sometimes can happen, and it's one of those plays where, if somebody gets a touch away from the net, you don't really think about it too much, but they will get it back, so they won't be thinking about it much at all here. 1-1 as Aspyre will get on the board.
And Sats, being that blocker, Reveal can't get to it because he got to deal with Sats. And a great play by Aspyre, getting the bumps involved. I believe that's actually the first bump play goal that we have seen. And that just goes to show how important those are. You got a car, and Psionics added the physics to hit each other, so you might as well put it to good use. Get your opponent out of the way. If they're in front of the net or they're going to be in front of the net, just hit them out of the way. They're not going to be there anymore. That's exactly what Aspyre did, and now they are tied up. 30 seconds to go now, and the Bedwetters in control, but Aspyre got a pretty good look here, and as soon as I say that, Bedwetters put it right on target, crosses the goal line, but there's no one to take the shot, and now Gator, musty flick, it's a little high and wide, double tap, oh my goodness, Gator, what is that? I gotta see this replay.
Yeah, we got to take another look at that. That is an ESPN top 10 plays. My goodness, what a solo play to get that read on it. And Aspyre will take the lead. 20 seconds left, maybe goal of the tournament there.
Feel a little bit high, and now Jathan has to put something on target, but that one just not gonna go. Bedwetters down by 1, and now the ball just rolling around in their own half. Geoids, they got to do something with it right here. The clock has hit 0. Passes it upfield. Geoids gonna be off the corner. The setup is not there. Sats boots it back downfield. Jathan, though, punches it right back down to the orange half, but that one is touching the ground after the last touch goes to Sats.
Yeah, well done there by Aspyre. They, again, they have that wonder goal there at the end by Gator. But again, a very even game throughout. We saw the Aspyre goal that was let in. And for Bedwetters, I feel like they let in two, really difficult goals to stop. We had the bump play there. Unfortunately, a defender isolated on their own side happens all the time. And the Gator musty flick backboard read, difficult to stop on your best defensive day. So I'm very excited to see what both these teams bring to game number 2.
Yeah, absolutely. These two teams are very evenly rated right now. Of course, I would give the edge to Aspyre simply because of the team plays. Like you said, the bump play from Sats and Alpha getting the goal. I mean, you cannot stop that even on your best day of defense. So Bedwetters just going to have to look out for them. They got to keep their head on a swivel. Watch out for those bump plays because Aspyre, I've seen quite a few of those bumps coming out, even not anywhere closer than that. Just those bumps to get the Bedwetters in a little bit worse of a position than they are currently in. So Bedwetters got to look out for that. They got to keep their head on a swivel. Overall, one thing I'm liking from the Bedwetters is their offense. Once they get onto the orange half of the field, they're opening up some space. They're getting the ball where it needs to be. But the finishing is a little bit weak. I mean, there was a couple of times where they had a wide open net and no one to finish. So a couple of things that Bedwetters can work on around the edges. But overall, pretty solid game from both of these teams. Aspyre, of course, a little bit better. We're just going to have to see how the rest of this series plays out.
Yeah, they're working with a little bit of confidence here. And, nothing that can't be brought back or brought down, rather, here. But for Bedwetters, yeah, they have to be a little bit more clinical in front of net. Gator's gonna, try and, recreate the goal from earlier, but it's something that we have to see from Bedwetters as well. Some of these wonder touches that open up a ton of space right now reveal kind of operating with 0 in the tank here, not gonna have the ability to do much on their side, but it has to be one player really opening up a ton of space for their back 2 players, and so far Aspire's just done a better job at that than the Bedwetters at this moment.
They have Bedwetters. They got to get on the attack here. Aspyre, they're taking control of the field, and that's a nice flick. Geoids saved by Gator. That one was close, but thankfully it doesn't go in. Now Reveal takes it all the way back through over towards the blue half of the field. Jathan forces the 50. Alpha 23 loses it, but Sats is right there to regain control. Gator looking for a second touch. It's off to the side, and that's not the touch that you want. 3 minutes, 20 seconds to go. Aspyre keeping the ball in the blue half for now, but we've talked about Bedwetters clearing skills before, and it will not surprise me if they're able to get this ball out of their own half within the next 10 seconds, and that they do. Jathan trying to put something on line, but the defense of Aspyre doing the same thing, trying to get it back on the blue half.
Yeah, something I'm noticing is shot on target there. Had to disrupt kind of the thought process here, but something that I'm noticing is, Bedwetters aren't necessarily getting much in transition. They're really able to get, a clearance once the Aspyre attack kind of fizzles out, but they're not forcing these clearances to get them these, like power plays basically on the other side. They're not getting 2v1. They're not getting 3v2 situations. They're getting the entire Aspyre team in rotation because they know that attack has not quite worked out. So Bedwetters having to fight through the entire team to get a shot on target. And so far, Aspyre just diligent on the back line. They, haven't had many mistakes except for that one that we saw in game number 1. They haven't really given up too many goals.
Yeah, Not. I mean, right now the score is 0-0, so 0 goals have been scored by either team, but I mean, that has to change at some point, sometime within the next 2 minutes, or maybe it doesn't. We've seen some 0-0 overtimes. They're uncommon, but sure, they do happen. Right now, Bedwetters, in control of the pace of the game for the most part. 4 shots to 3 in favor of the Bedwetters, and the score is just in their favor as well, like the individual score. But Aspyre, do not expect them to keep it like that for long. They're getting on the attack once again. But honestly, these teams are just doing a little bit of ping pong action. A couple of team plays here and there, but nothing is striking. They've got to find some open net material that they can work with, and neither of these teams are getting it going. Right there was a great attempt to try to find the open net, but the defense of Aspyre is just simply built different, built like a brick wall, reinforced by about 500 tons of rebar.
Yeah, I really like that attack by Bedwetters. A couple really dangerous shots at the other side, forcing the saves, and you're hoping that one of those touches, goes your way. It's a bad clearance, but right now Aspyre up to the defensive task, trying to force it back onto Bedwetters, but both these defenses playing smart. They're playing cool, calm, collected Rocket League right now, and we have 35 seconds left. Will these teams try to get that final push, maybe overextend, or will we see an overtime here in game number 2?
I mean, it's been so even for so long. The nerves are most definitely very high, so a mistake from one of these teams could very possibly be on the way!
Oh, man.
And it's gonna be Aspyre to strike on it. Everyone got a piece of that ball before it went in. How many more setups do you need, Alpha?
Just wonderful. And again, for Bedwetters, so uncomfortable on that back line. Ball hits the corner, drops down, and then back up. And all of a sudden, every player is out of position. They're not able to do anything with it. This one have to go the entire length of the field, and Gator's not even going to let it happen here. 2-0 Aspyre will take game 2 of this series.
And that rally was just doomed from the start. I mean, Jathan was going up the wall. Gator also wanted it, but he slowed down. They kind of both slowed down. And overall, just Bedwetters, not going to count that. This game was over anyway. Geoids looking for one last shot, maybe. Not happening. Sats flaps it down, spikes it down like it's in volleyball. And with that, they are on match point. They are 1 game away from securing a spot into the grand finals, as well as a 1-game advantage. And I mean, it might not sound like much, but it is such a huge advantage. 1 game, it's not that much, but when you're really in the game, when you get into the midpoint of the series, that's when it really matters, because you always know you have that 1 step up above your opponent.
Yeah, absolutely. And really, it's a mental thing for your opponents, that you're already behind. The series has not started yet, but you're 1 game behind in this. You had to battle through the lower bracket. It's stress compounding. So it's a really good advantage mentally to have. But for these teams here, I think looking at it, I didn't dislike Bedwetters' plan of attack there. I think they had some really good opportunities. They had before they let in the goal. I thought they had a really good attacking play in that offensive third. It just, they didn't get the opening that they wanted. They got a few great shots, a few forced saves, but Aspyre just played them well and played them right back to Bedwetters. So they had to force the issue a little bit more here. I wouldn't be surprised if they feel like they have to get more aggressive and maybe overcommit slightly on some of their offensive plays here.
That surprised me, and I really liked what I saw on the front line of the Bedwetters, because, I mean, we both saw where Bedwetters had 3 shots on net. It was just the defense of Aspyre that was really the difference maker in that little rally and that little string of strikes from the Bedwetters. So if the Bedwetters can keep finding those strikes, eventually the defense has to break down. I don't care how strong your defense is. If you got a brick wall and you keep punching it bare fist, eventually it'll break down. Your hands might break, your entire body might break, but that brick wall's probably going down with it. Just keep punching the wall.
Keep punching the wall. You gotta kind of like Minecraft it. You just keep going. Eventually it'll break down. You might not have the tools for it, but just perseverance will prevail here. And for Bedwetters, that is the name of the game. They have to persevere. They have to keep attempting these plays. Whether or not they've had a lot of success, they have to think that there's no way that Aspyre can play this level of defense the entire way through here. But there may be some openings created. Reveal could find the first one. The shot almost at a snail's pace does manage to break through here. And I think maybe we got an opening in the brick wall. Not quite sure.
Yeah, right there, Bedwetters. Great start. That is how they need to start this possible reverse sweep off. They cannot let themselves get behind, because if they do, that just starts the timer for Aspyre, and it just gets them more and more confidence. But the Bedwetters are the ones that are hoarding all the confidence now. They're up 2.
Yeah, and this is, we talked about compounding stress here. How about compounding confidence? Just a kickoff goal after, a great score to kind of open this one up. It's something that, for teams, it could really boost the mental. And now you have that insurance goal to work with. Maybe you're playing a little bit more free on the offensive side, a little bit more unpredictable, some would say. And that could open up some opportunities, to really kind of compound on this this goal total here.
Yeah, you just got to keep punishing the backboard. I mean, right here, double tap potential, and the backboard shots, they don't count towards the scoreboard. They might not even go in, but it forces Aspyre to make a play on it, and it forces them to adjust. And when there's an adjustment, when there's a rotation, something gets stronger, something gets weaker, and it's just about finding where it gets weaker. And Reveal did just that.
Reveal a hat trick already within 2 minutes, and this is truly a great rotational play by them. I think they're really starting to get a handle of this Aspyre defense, and they're willing to kind of force the issue here. Another opportunity. Reveal will be underneath this one, but it's now back line all alone. Has to buy a little bit of time. Gator pass in the midfield. Shot on target. Crossbar down and away. And unfortunately, that play will not be rewarded. Aspyre almost made Bedwetters pay for that one.
That was really close, but Aspyre, they just got to land those. And they don't. Bedwetters stay in the lead. They stay in firm control now. Up by 3, over the halfway mark, excuse me. And Aspyre, they're starting to rush a little bit. There's still 2 minutes to go, so they don't need to rush right now. But, I mean, you can just tell by the way they're playing that they're a little bit worried. And, I mean, there's no real need to hurry because, like I said, there's still 120 seconds to go. And you're only down by 3. All you got to do is just keep playing your game, try to open up the defense, and you got to strike first. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a simple step. And Aspyre, they got to take that first step. Right now, they're wobbling.
Yeah, I think it might be a bit shaken here, especially because the game hasn't gotten out of hand, but they started on the back foot rather early comparatively to the other games in the series, where it felt like they were in it the entire time and almost in control of it. So here I think it's just a little bit of a different look for him, maybe not quite mentally ready for that one. So hopefully we do see some adjustments. It is a minute, still plenty of time for a 3-goal comeback. I've seen comebacks from greater disadvantages, but they do have to take that step.
That they do, and the shot that they had right there might have been that step they needed. Huge fake from Reveal. Backboard. Geoid has to get there. It's going to be Sats, though, to steal it away. And they're going to take it off to the side. Great pinch. Reveal is there to make that save again. And, I mean, with every shot they put on target, but every one of them that gets saved, it just takes more and more time off the clock. And Aspyre finally get one on the board, finally cross that blue line. But it might be too late.
Yeah, you got to give credit. Alpha does get beat 2 defenders with that air dribble. So, you know, it's not all bad, but, you know, this, once you get into a situation like this, you know, sometimes you have to take, you know, that time, you know, not to win the game, but just figure out what works and get back into the rhythm and start focusing on the next one. Because, you know, this game, time-wise, may be away from you. So then you want to start focusing on, like, all right, well, how can we break this team down? You know, we want to try, you know, forcing, you know, stealing boost. Do we really want to try and focus on those demolitions? Do we want to try and increase our midfield presence? You know, you got to start trying these at this point in a game to really, you know, try to win the series.
Yeah, and I think that last 30 seconds might have given them enough information they need. Might not have. We're going to find out in game number 4. But like you said, Aspyre just using those last 30 seconds to get info, not trying to get any goals or even trying to win the game. Not trying to win the game. Now they're trying to get the goals, but they're just trying to see what will work. Overall, I think one thing that they can work on is the demos. I was not counting, but I did not see any explosions. I did not see the little HUD icon at the top right saying that someone on the orange got a demo. I saw that maybe once. So Aspyre, if they can get those demos initiated in their game and integrated in their game plan, they have a very solid shot at taking game number 4. Because, I mean, when you're not getting bumped and you're not getting demo, you just have free reign over the field. And Aspyre is a team that does not do well when their space is limited.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think another takeaway that they could do, if they're going to increase those demos, I think they have to target one person, and that is Reveal. Reveal got very comfortable in that game, a hat trick for them. And you can start to see, again, the confidence play out. We started to see a lot more chances in those solo dribble plays. We started to see quite a lot open up when the player was comfortable. Gator now trying to open up on the other side. Waterfall, unfortunately, on the wrong side of this one. And now Alpha trying to revive the offense here for Aspyre. Backboard ring, gonna be the first goal here. Jathan will start it, and the backboard has been the guiding light here for this Bedwetters squad.
The Bedwetters, I think they want a reverse sweep. I could be wrong. They may want to get shut down, but I'm pretty sure they want that reverse sweep. I mean, they are looking better than ever. I mean, a double bump by Jathan. If that ball had a little bit more power on it, that was definitely going in the net. And Jathan, I mean, getting up to the ball as soon as they got a shot at it and keeping the Aspyre defense limited. Like I said, Aspyre does not do well when their space is limited. And Aspyre doing nothing to unlimit their space. They're not doing anything to really try to get more space. They're just hitting the ball over onto the other side. And it is simply not working. They've got to get the demo. They've got to get the bumps. There's the first one. That's a great way to start. And there's another one. Alpha just going outrageous. It's going to set up the shot from Sats. Oh. That is a perfect place, and they don't come away with a goal.
No way.
Never mind.
I remember that moment, you know, when they got multiple demos. It was like, hey, this is exactly what Starcoin Hero was talking about. It's all coming together. Look at the shot. And all of a sudden, it's back at the other side of the net. I mean, what a momentum killer here for this Aspyre squad.
Ouch. Yeah, I mean, the demos definitely helped. They got a great shot on target overall.
Yeah.
They know what they have to do, but I mean, right there, you just sent too many of your players up when you should have maybe only sent 2, because I mean, there was nobody back there to stop it, and Bedwetters got an easy goal, just walked it on in. So that's just something they got to work on. They got the demo play, the double demo play from Alpha, and they almost had their first goal of the game, but the shot off the backboard was a little too high, and who knew that it would have led to the Bedwetters getting an insurance goal off of that. Honestly, that's something I can check off my bingo card. I was not expecting that in a million years.
Yeah, you know, it's just the other side of the coin, really. Once you try to go for this aggressive play style, it's an all-in kind of play where you get those 2 demos, you send 2 people to do it, and if that shot doesn't quite ring out and the clearance works well enough, possible opportunity here, Geoids will get the 3rd. You'll get punished for it, and right now Bedwetters are punishing this defense for leaving the backboard unguarded.
And the Bedwetters, they have been destroying the backboard all day. It hasn't just been with Aspyre, but it's been in the first match as well. They were just peppering the backboard all games when it came to OK, and it gave them a lot of success. Aspyre, I think they've got to have a player on that backboard every time Bedwetters go for a shot because they have been getting killed on it. So overall, I think the key to success for these teams have been figured out. For Bedwetters, backboard shots. For Aspyre, bumps and demo plays. And I think whichever one of these teams can get more of their key to success might just take this series. But that one doesn't need the backboard. That one is just a zinger.
Wow, look at that wonderful cut here from Reveal, and gets 2 players to bite on it. And now we're starting to see Aspyre really reaching for some of these plays. I think they're maybe feel like they're a step behind in some of these plays, and now that they're behind, they are trying to make the most out of everything. They're trying to hero play everything, and that's when it starts to kind of really go downhill when you try to play outside of yourself. So another game that got out of hand 4-0 when it seemed like a blink of an eye, but you still have one more life here.
They do, and I think one thing that can really help out Aspyre for this next game is take it one rally at a time. Because right now they're down by 5. They're thinking in the macro. They're thinking, okay, we got to score 5 goals in a row, and that's not going to work. You got to take it rally by rally. You got to say, okay, we got to score here. We got to score this one. We got to score this one. So if they can get back to that mentality in game number 5, just take it possession by possession, shot by shot, and not get too invested in the future or the past, then they will have a real shot at taking game number 5 and denying the reverse sweep. But overall, there are definitely some weaknesses in Bedwetters games. Like I said, the demos, like we've both been saying, actually, the demos are a huge part of Aspyre's game. And the demos, Bedwetters have had no response to. Like, absolutely none. They had a go-ahead goal off the rotation error, but other than that, the demos have been killing them all day.
Yeah, this game will end here. Maybe a goal to go here, as Alpha will put this one in and like to play, but want to see that one just a bit earlier. Game should be ending here 5-1. Obviously, the 3 seconds pending.
Yeah, we will see how it goes. Gator, when's the
5-2?
kickoff?
Maybe.
What's the roll? Maybe 5-2.
And no.
Not happening. Bedwetters.
Not happening. Not this story. Not quite.
No, not this time. But who knows? We still got one more game to go, and Bedwetters on reverse sweep point. They're just one game away from taking the series. And I know some people say that a best of 3 reverse sweep doesn't count, but I mean, they're coming off a 1 reverse sweep off of the win over OK. They took the first game L, and they backed it up with 2 pretty nice wins, and they could very well do the same thing here. They lost the first 2, and it's been very decisive wins the next 2, and they just gotta do one more. Cobra, we thinking it's happening?
This is a team that's kind of got the train rolling, and I haven't really seen any way to stop this. I called out Reveal as like, this is a player that you need to keep an eye out for. If you stop this player, you might have a way to stop Bedwetters. Reveal had the lowest points, and not to call out Reveal, but lowest points in this game. It was a complete team win. Both other players on the team had 2 goals apiece. So now everyone's working. Everyone's, getting these goals, and Aspyre now has to find an answer for the entire team just in better form. So I think Bedwetters, kind of are, playing at their peak here. So I'd be very surprised to see Aspyre show us something different.
We're just going to have to see. Bedwetters are playing at an astronomical rate. They are doing so good. They're outpacing Aspyre. They're outshooting Aspyre. They are outplaying Aspyre in every aspect of the word. And I think this team has got to focus on their rhythm. They've got to go through the motion and make the smart plays, because the last game, they made a couple of the bump plays. It almost led to a goal once with the off the double tap, and then it unfortunately went the other way towards the Bedwetters. But I mean, they opened up a lot of space, and it was just a really unfortunate position for them. So once again, focus on the demos, stay in your rhythm, go through with the motion, rotate as clean as you can, and think about the present. I think that will be the key to victory for Aspyre. And Bedwetters, honestly, keep doing exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, I was about to say, there can't really be a change in the plan now. If it's not broke, don't fix it. They've found a lot of success here for Aspyre. It's them who have to answer all of the questions here. But game 5, this is one of those things where you have to look at the game right in front of you, the play right in front of you, the next goal, as we talked about and alluded to earlier. And for both these teams, it's kind of up to them right now. Gator, we see some wonder goals from the player earlier. I would love to see a little bit more of that.
Yeah, I would definitely like to see some of that, but the question is, will it happen this late in the series? I'm not quite sure. Both these teams going to try their absolute hardest to defend against the team plays, and especially the solo plays.
Wow.
So the hero goals will be very difficult to pull off, but I mean, that just makes them all the more heroic if they do.
Absolutely. Shot on target from Alpha. A little bit awkward here for the defense of Bedwetters as Aspyre working slowly their way from the corner. Pass on the top. Reveal looking for a touch. A little bit awkward. Needs some help, but it's going to be Sats here to put it away. Awkward touch from Bedwetters leads to the goal.
And Reveal, he just gave that one to Sats on a silver platter. And of course, Sats, being the smart Rocket League player that they are, they just say thank you, take the goal, and it is a very simple one and done. Aspyre take the lead now early, as they're about a minute and a half in, and the Bedwetters now, the death timer is ticking for them, which honestly, I did not expect Aspyre to strike first. Might be looking to strike next as well. But this one is a little bit wide. Alpha tries the solo play. It's going to get cleared. It's going to go over to the other side. And Geoids is met at the ball. It's bouncing left and right. There's no verticality to where this ball is going. It's just left and right until Alpha finally gets his car on that ball. But once again, we're right back in the corner where we started.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but it seems like anytime a team scores a goal, they get like a 10% boost to their speed. Right now, Aspyre absolutely flying around and giving a whole heck of a lot of trouble to the Bedwetters defensively. But now, starting their offense back here to go up. Hopefully that won't be an issue if that ball is centered. Reveal will get a touch, but it's sent back to the corner. Gator with the carry. We'll see this back to the midfield. Alpha to take over, but met by Reveal. Has to leave it for Jathan downfield. Reveal shot on target. Not going to be blocked well enough, and Reveal will get the goal. Unfortunately, the defense just not able to see it away from the player. Great save, but the woodwork will betray him here.
And that was your guy, Cobra. That's who you said was going to be the difference maker for the Bedwetters. And they might just be. Bedwetters score for the first time in this game. And they now are tied up with 2 minutes left to go. And over these next 120 seconds, it's just going to come down to which one of these two teams can execute their game plan better. Aspyre, get the bumps in the demos. Bedwetters, the backboard shots. 90 seconds to go. And right now, we are completely even. Huge pass attempt from Gator, but Reveal is there to read it. And now Jathan tries the clear, gets bumped out of the way, but Geoids is there to get the secure save.
Time running out for both these sides. They know next goal could be it here. Shot from Alpha, high, crossbar, and out. They're not going to get rewarded for this, as it's going to hit every single piece of the woodwork before Gator will put it in. And what a heartbreaker here for the side of Bedwetters, as Gator gives them the lead.
With a minute left, they got to get on offense. Aspyre has been out shooting them. 10 shots to 5 is the total shot count. And when your shots are being doubled, that's just not a realistic statistic to keep up with. You're being doubled in offense, basically. So the Bedwetters have to get on offense. I don't think there's any doubt about that. They've got to find a little bit of aggression and get on the orange half of the field. But right as I say that, Gator, a solo play. What was I saying about the solo plays? They weren't going to happen, and then they happened.
Yeah, well, that just can't happen. Gator is given basically all the time in the world to take that shot. No one really clamps down, and I think part of that is maybe not thinking they have enough momentum to get behind a shot, but a little bit of a wave dash on the recovery, and all of a sudden some magic can happen, and we see magic yet again. Alpha taking advantage of almost a self-pass here, and almost an indefensible shot there.
Yeah, that one was not going to be saved. And with that, this game has went to a tie goal game to a 3-goal deficit for the Bedwetters in less than a minute. But the Bedwetters not keeping it 3 for long. Jathan with a nice solo play of their own makes it a 2-goal deficit now. 32 seconds to go. It's possible, but I mean, it's going to be rough. It's not going to be easy at all.
Yeah, I think it's a really great response here. But it's, do they have enough time on the clock? And Aspyre have shown that when they are in the lead, they are more than capable of draining that precious, clock time. But now, we're seeing 15 seconds, and Bedwetters have to score and then repeat it. I don't think it's going to be possible here, and they will just have a little bit of time. Final efforts, but that will be it. Bedwetters will be sent down to the lowers after a wonderful comeback and a nice goal, or not, for the road. Aspyre will move forward, denying the reverse sweep.
That one was really good. And I mean, I think what really came down to it was Bedwetters just falling apart in the last minute right there. Because, I mean, they led in the second one. This game was nowhere near over. A minute to go, only down by 1. I mean, that's doable. You can score at least 3 goals in a minute. But then after they scored that second game, it's like after they scored that second goal, it's like they all just gave up and let some solo play shots come in. I mean, the second one, that was a team-based shot. It was a big passing play. But then after that, they were both solo plays. The third and fourth goal for Aspyre should not have gone in, and I think the Bedwetters have just kind of accepted defeat right there when they were not defeated just yet. But either way, Aspyre, they're going to take that dub with a huge win over Bedwetters in Game 5, denying the reverse sweep. And they've secured their spot in the grand finals. They've secured a little bit of the prize pool. And of course, they have secured the 1-game advantage as they went all the way through the upper bracket without dropping a single series.
Yeah, absolutely. And kind of looking at this now, we're taking a look at the bracket. Obviously, Aspyre going to be waiting in the wings now for the losers final. And looking at the losers semifinal, we see a familiar face down there. OK is facing off currently against Villainous. We'll get a update on that one, but could be a possible rematch here against Bedwetters. I'm sure they would love to get another shot at redemption here, especially to get to the grand finals. How do you think a matchup like that would stack up now?
Well, of course, if it is OK versus Bedwetters, it's going to be a big rematch. OK, looking to get their revenge, but this time they know what they're up against. And I mean, both of the games that Bedwetters took in that first series were very close. So I think if OK has the rematch in them, they might have a shot at taking it. Because I mean, Bedwetters, they came off of a very long and very competitive series just to lose. So their mentality is probably not the best that it could be. Meanwhile, I mean, okay, they have just been trucking along through the grand or through the lower bracket, and they have not been stopped. They have taken down OTR. Right now, they are going up against Villainous. We're still waiting on the result from that one, but Villainous, where did they actually go down? Yeah, okay, actually defeated Villainous in the upper bracket, 2-0 in the quarterfinals. So we got another rematch, and okay, 2-0ing them there. Wouldn't surprise me if they get away with another series win and they get that rematch against Bedwetters. And honestly, in the lower bracket finals, if it comes down to it, okay versus Bedwetters, I think okay might have it.
Yeah, I'd be very interested in another matchup. We'll see. I With Bedwetters performing the way that they did and kind of losing it in that game 5, I wonder how they are able to bounce back here. But I would love to see it. Obviously, it's a team that now we're a little bit familiar with. Excuse me. So I'm always a fan of seeing rematches and seeing teams trying to kind of correct the wrongs of earlier matches. So definitely excited if that is the case.
Absolutely. And really, really quick, we do want to give a shout out to Trolley for being our sponsor tonight. And we actually got a little bit of exciting news for you. So if you join the League Trolley Discord server and you click the welcome thing, and then you go into your community and you click on Frost Esports, that actually enters you into a giveaway where you can win $100 and a trolley love sack. So you definitely want to get on into that. Go make sure you join the Trolley Discord server. Select Frost Esports as your community. You'll be entered to win that love sack as well as $100. Who does not want a big love sack? I know I do.
Truly.
Cobra, you want one? I think
I
you do.
absolutely. I mean, for those of you in the stream, if you have not seen this thing yet, it looks massive and super comfortable. So, whether it's just another piece of furniture or you make it the centerpiece of whatever room you put it in, I'm sure you're not going to be disappointed. It has a holder for your controller if that's something that you're into. Truly, you want to make sure you do that and make sure you do it soon. It lasts between right now and this Friday, and the drawing will take place in the afternoon. So make sure you join before October 7th, 1 p.m. Eastern. You want to make sure you get your name in there. All you got to do is join. It's that easy.
Yeah, and I mean, it is a Discord server. You might make some new friends. So there's really no cons to it. You're representing Frost Esports as well. So it doesn't get better than that. Make sure you go enter once again, one more time, Trolley Discord server and click on Frost Esports as your community that you come from, and you will be entered to win. But with that, we're going to take a little bit of a break. When we return, we will get underway with the lower bracket finals. Bedwetters versus the winner of OK versus Villainous. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Frost Esports channel, as we have Blizzard number 58 going here. The losers final. It is going to be Bedwetters and, surprise, Villainous. Now, we have Cobra, obviously your wonderful host, and Starcoin Hero, which I'm a little bit disappointed that it is not Dream anymore, but we'll get to that later. How are we feeling about this Villainous with the upset? Basically to both of us now going up against Bedwetters.
Honestly, with the Villainous taking the dub, it's a similar story to what it would have been if it were Bedwetters and OK. I mean, OK took down Villainous, and Villainous knew what to expect out of OK, and they got the upper hand. But for Villainous now, they have not faced Bedwetters, and honestly, I don't really think that they can take on Bedwetters because they don't know how they play unless they've been watching the streams. But I mean, Villainous, they've had matches all the time. I don't think they've really had time to watch the stream. And the Bedwetters, I don't think they're going to have too difficult of a time here. I hope I'm wrong. I hope Villainous comes out and gives us the upset of the century. But I mean, Bedwetters, they're just such an elite team. And Villainous, they got a good win over the OK team. But I mean, Bedwetters, they're a different level.
Yeah, well, it looks like they are starting aggressive early. And just a reminder, best of 3. So we're back to best of 3 here. And for honors of playing Aspyre here in the grand final reveal, double tap just going to be led a little bit astray here. But right now, it looks like Villainous really have to figure out a way to open up their offense as Bedwetters seem to have free reign over most of the field right now.
Just hit my toe on my table. It hurts.
You know what? I did hear a sound, and I wasn't sure if that was a reaction to a gameplay because it felt guttural there. It felt very guttural. I was like, oh, I'm like, interesting. Love that.
Yeah, sorry about that, but we are back. The pain is subsiding, and we are ready to go with the second quarter of game number 1. Bedwetters still in the lead by 1. Villainous still trying to make their mark on the scoreboard. Right now they have 1 shot put on target, and it was saved away by Geoids, and this one all has potential, but Jathan a little bit too slow and low on it, and Villainous is there to make that clear. Right now they're playing a pretty good job at keeping the Bedwetters at bay, but they got to get on offense. The defense pretty solid, but I mean, you cannot win a game of Rocket League with 0.
Yeah, there's not really a safe spot for them on the field right now. You know, while they are deflecting a lot of these shots, you know, they're having to deal with bumps. They're having to deal with, multiple players kind of, going through the air. They are trying to re-attack that backboard as, Bedwetters found so much success with it in their earlier series. So, they are holding out, but it's not without great pain that they are doing so.
Yeah, definitely not. They're holding on. All they got to do right now is hold on. If we are talking about the Bedwetters here, they just got to hold on. And the thing about Villainous is they are holding on as well, but at the position they are in right now, holding on is not enough. They got to be the aggressor. They've got to get the ball on to the other team's half if they want a shot. Because right now, they're down by 1, 2 minutes to go. They're playing great on defense. They're rotating well, but overall, their offense is not where it needs to be. As they're starting to show some little slimmers or little glimmers of glory on offense, but nothing has landed just yet.
Yeah, I think they're starting to show a little bit of presence on the offensive side, but as of right now, it is just Bedwetters being methodical on that offensive side. Gonna take the entire team to open up the opportunity, but as soon as you get that third man to level one like that, not much you can do to stop it. 2-0 here, and we have minute 26 left, but a goal off the kickoff. Look at that.
That's a nice way to start off a comeback. You get a lucky bounce. Jathan misses the ball. Possibly thought it was going the other way. Did not expect that bounce, but that's the bounce that they got. 2-1 now was the score. Villainous get in the net, but they got to do it one more time. The Bedwetters do not want that to happen. They're going to keep playing their oppressive game, and they just got to ride it out for another minute and 10 seconds. But that is a lot easier said than done. You still got to pay your opponents some respect. Of course, Villainous, the underdogs for this game, but you cannot be too safe. You got to give your opponents some respect, because if you don't give your opponents respect, that is the easiest way to throw a game. But the Bedwetters, that is not phasing them one bit. They're staying on their game. They're making the smart plays, and now they have a 2-goal lead once again.
Yeah, wonderful dish from the clearance there from Reveal, I believe. And, two players on offense. It was a really quick, setup on that back line there. Reveal looking to go again, holds on to the flip reset. Wonderful touch there. And really, Tokyo's preparing for that touch and just waits just a second longer to use it to go underneath. 4-1 here. And all of a sudden, that glimmer of hope to tie this one up got taken away.
No more glimmers for the side of Villainous. And Bedwetters, they are looking mighty fine for game number 2.
Ooh.
Looks like we are knocking on the door. 33 seconds away, 3-goal lead for Bedwetters, and I just don't think that they're going to let up. They're just going to keep on the gas pedal. They don't need to press it all the way down to the floor. They just got to keep the defense or the offense of Villainous at bay, and they're going to walk away with game 1 with a dub.
Yeah, again, some really great defensive stops here for Villainous, but they have to translate, that great play offensively, because just right now, Bedwetters, the more consistent offensive team. I think we're still going to see a pretty competitive game here in game number 2. But right now, game number 1, all but over here. As soon as the player decides to let this one touch the ground, they will do so there. Bedwetters with the win here. Now just one more win away from a rematch.
They are 3-goal lead. And Villainous, they did get 1 goal, but it was off the kickoff. And overall, Bedwetters just playing super oppressive. I think Villainous, they're just going to have to keep playing their game and hope that they can find some sort of weakness in the Bedwetters, because right now, even I'm not seeing any weakness in this team, especially coming from Villainous. And I just don't know if they will be able to expose any of them, because the Bedwetters just playing so solid. They're very well-rounded right now. And Villainous, try your best. Try to find an opening. And if you find something, hit it as hard as you can. Try to strike as much as possible, as quick as possible. And just play your game.
Yeah, and as we say that, that goes directly into the net of Villainous. Not really having much time to respond, but I truly think Villainous, they had a couple of good moments where they found that infield pass. Just unfortunately, didn't have the support after that initial shot. So really want them to continue that. But right now, they really have to worry about their back line as Bedwetters, continuing their assault here, as they're really forcing Villainous on the back foot.
They are. Good 50 from Snowf, though. We'll push that ball back over to the opposite corner of the field. And now, here's a nice possible shot for the side of Villainous, but the Bedwetter defense is staying strong. I mean, Villainous, they got the defense of the Bedwetters compressed and have forced them to make a pretty sloppy play. If they can possibly open that up a little bit more, they might have a shot. But, of course, you got to get the ball into the other team's half, get that into the corner, and compress the defense up.
Oh,
oh.
no. Oh, well. Now, do we want to talk about that one, or do we not want to talk about that one? Because that we could just leave that. Great shot at the end there. On target.
I mean, right now it's very easily explainable. The double commit came in from Villainous. They both hit each other, and it's set up for an easy pass and go play for the Bedwetters. I mean, it doesn't get much simpler than that. A mistake is made, and it opens up a lane, and all you got to do is just prevent the mistakes from happening in the future, because
that near post was painfully open. It was painfully open too, which is the really unfortunate part. Just comes down to communication there. Looks like they're just gonna have to battle back through it again. The opportunity was there too, and that is, the kind of, bright side of this one. There was an opportunity there. Just need to make sure that you are taking it when available. But right now, I don't think Bedwetters are going to allow any further opportunities. Again, that flip reset play, and they're doing such a good job of not using it immediately, but waiting that extra second, delaying the actual shot, because it's stunning those backline defenders. They have no idea when that shot is actually going to come out.
That's right there. Tokyo had a shot of taking that goal. He had a perfect shot, but the defense just holds up right there. Bedwetters read it, and they get enough of their car on it to take that goal. Snowf puts it on target. It's a little off to the right, and Villainous will stay at 0 for now. Meanwhile, Bedwetters looking for their 4th as Lubby has to clear it away. Reveal keeps this ball in an awkward spot, but it's not going to stay on the orange half for long as Snowf passes it on up. Geoids 360, looking to keep possession, but fails to keep it. And now Villainous, once again, with control. That is one thing that they are doing very well. They're keeping the control!
No way!
No! Oh,
no way!
No!
Oh! No shot. There is no shot. Well, folks, haven't really seen this one happen before. But I've this is the definition of tilt. So it looks like we've lost multiple players. There's still one in the lobby, and I guess Bedwetters cast taunt, and it was extremely effective. Not sure what else to say here.
I mean, yeah, I guess so. Bedwetters, they got the big lead, and Villainous, they just did not take it very well. I mean, they're down by 4. They're very obviously outmatched, and when you got a team like Bedwetters, it's very easy to get tilted, but that's what separates the good teams from the great teams. I mean, Villainous is a very solid team compared to a lot of other teams that play Rocket League, compared to a lot of other people that play Rocket League. They're very high-ranked players, but I mean, Bedwetters, they have played with each other for so long. They have a plan, and Villainous, they didn't really have that. And of course, whenever things started looking grim, they started getting tilted, and I mean, they just left. 4 goals down, still halfway through the game. They could have had a shot at coming back, but they just decided to left. And also, before they left, they got a little bit of, not vulgarism, but they got some words in the chat.
Yeah, a little jargon going on here. I don't know if everybody knows this, but there is a wonderful little feature. If you go to your settings, and then you go to all the way on the right where it's chat, you could actually change your chat settings and just not talk to the other team or not see what the other team is talking about, because it seemed that Bedwetters were getting a little bit into the minds of Villainous here, but right now they are just getting into the grand finals as they will finish it up. It'll be 4-1 for the record books, but believe it or not, there were no orange players on the side, on the pitch at all when the goal was scored.
Yeah, that is probably the... I don't even know what you would call that, man. That is the most interesting stat line, probably. I mean, 3v3, there was one goal scored by the orange side, but it happened when there was no orange players on the pitch. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, yeah, that is very interesting. Maybe a Guinness Book of World Records in the future. I don't know.
Possible.
Some oddities around the world. But that is it for that game. And not really a lot to talk about in that one, but now a lot to talk about here in the future. Bedwetters have their chance to go up against Aspyre here in the grand finals. So we can take a look at the bracket now. Again, this will be a best of 7, but Aspyre with the 1 game advantage. How huge is that for Aspyre?
I think it is going to be absolutely huge. And honestly, Aspyre, with how they played in their last series together, that one game might just be the difference maker with how even these two teams are, because we saw it was almost a reverse sweep until the Bedwetters kind of fell apart, but they are not going to let that happen again. They're going to keep playing at their A game. They're going to play as best as they can, and they got a little bit of farming in the lower bracket finals, so they are all popped up and ready to go for the grand finals, where they will take on Aspyre. Once again, the rematch from the winners final, but this time Aspyre, they have the 1 game advantage. It's going to be a very difficult task for Bedwetters, but definitely not too tall of a task for them. I think we might see 7 here, honestly. Be 100% honest, I think we're going to 7.
I would love to see 7. I would absolutely love to see 7. I think Bedwetters have the ability to do so, but especially when you are down by a game in a best of 7 scenario, that first game is the most important. It's, if you get that win, you're able to even out those conditions, and make it an even ball game from the start. And for Aspyre, you get that, you know, game 1, technically game 2 win, all of a sudden you're operating with such momentum in this one, where it's really, the other team has to join back in. But I'm very excited. I would love it to go 7, obviously, but well, we'll see. I think both these teams now have a feeling of, how the other plays. We'll see if any adjustments are made, if Aspyre maybe kind of expected Bedwetters to get back to this point, maybe.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to see how it goes. And like you said, I think this game will be the most important. Game 1 in a best of 7, very important game, especially when there is a 1 game advantage involved. So we're just gonna have to see which one of these teams can take game number 1. And honestly, I'm gonna make a bold prediction here. The team that takes game number 1 is taking the series.
Yeah, I love that prediction. I actually uh, am a fan of that, because it is such a momentum swing here for Aspyre. All of a sudden, it's just you have those 2 games left. For Bedwetters, you even out a series, and now you have a second look at a team that, in all honesty, you feel like you should have uh, had a better performance in that final match here. So very excited to see. I think it looks like we're going straight into it. It looks like we have Bedwetters here. They're ready and rearing to go. I don't know if we are taking doesn't look like we're taking a break. I think we're going
Yeah,
straight
we're good.
into it.
Yeah, we are. Teams are joining, so we are completely ready to go. Without further ado, let the grand finals begin. Bedwetters versus Aspyre in a best of 7 series. Aspyre, with a game 1 advantage. And here we go. The rematch of the winners final. Cobra, take it away.
Oh, we are... You know what? What's going to take it away? A disconnect. That's going to take it away. That goal will not count. I think we have players that will be going. So we're going to have a quick hold on that. We'll reset this one. So it looks like we have to... Yeah, we'll leave this one. But, hey, a little bit of a false start. You know, building up the tension, releasing the tension, then we got to build it back up again. No worries at all.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes this was all planned. Actually, we're just gonna coming out. Yeah. We're coming out now. It's all planned. Just give us a little bit more time to let it muster. I mean, we gotta get the heart rate as high as possible. And right there, you thought we were ready, but we weren't. Get pranked.
Yeah, absolutely not. Not gonna be possible here. So we now have we're resetting everything, getting players back into the lobby. But now, so for Aspyre here, let's talk. We've talked a lot about Bedwetters. We've seen them multiple games in a row at this point. Let us talk about Aspyre. You had a series, and both of us watching that series saw them take those first 2 games and almost thinking it's over, able to stave off that, reverse sweep. Do you have a little bit of confidence? Are you worried that it took you that long to kind of finish out the series? How do you think they feel going into this one?
Honestly, I think it's going to depend on which way this first game goes. Because if we're talking about Aspyre, they did manage to sneak away with game number 5 of the last series. But I mean, it was way too close for comfort. It was 1-1 for 4 minutes of the game. And then they scored one more time, and then Bedwetters fell apart. If Bedwetters stayed true to their game, they could have very possibly had a shot at regaining, taking another lead, and winning that game. So right now, I think it's going to come down to whoever is able to take this first game. Because right now, the mood for Aspyre is probably neutral. I mean, they let up a lot of stuff that they probably should not have let up in the first series, but they did come away with the win. And Bedwetters, I think it's a pretty similar thing for them. I mean, they did not come away with the series, but they were dominating for a good half of the series, and they really only stopped because they kind of fell apart. But I don't think that's going to happen again. Bedwetters getting started off early, and Aspyre will be starting off strong with the lead.
Yeah, so really, really good look here for Bedwetters actually getting that first score, and I think kind of that wonderful touch, but right back the other way. Aspyre not going to take that lightly. Gator with the score, and it's funny, 2 dribbling plays kind of slowing down the pace from what we saw, which was breakneck speed in the match earlier. So very, very interesting that both these teams, maybe trying to take a little bit more control, take those first couple of challenges very close to the chest here.
And honestly, I like this play. The lowdown tap as well forces the play made by Jathan. And that one does go the other way. But like I was saying, I like that play to slow down the pace. And as soon as I say that, Jathan switches it all up and goes as fast as possible. Awkward touch from Gator. Wide open net for Jathan. And now it's Bedwetters in the lead as soon as Aspyre ties it up.
Yeah, Gator, it's a tough ask there because you want to keep that ball close. But in that position, it's really actually difficult to get back behind that, to steer it away from net. And you're not able to look over your shoulder to see where that other player was. I think they had no idea. They were so close on that one. But now, again, a lead to work with here, and Aspyre now working their way back into this one. Alpha playing this from the corner, not a lot of boost. That's fortunately not able to get the shot that they're looking for. Alpha will go back in, Tries to slow the play down, but huge clearance all the way back to the orange side of the field. One taken out, shot on target, but gonna be blocked multiple times actually. Gator may get multiple saves for that one shot. Reveal from the corner. Should have another look at this. Sent it center. Jathan will put it up, but demoed for their efforts. Gator, no boost, looking for the flip reset, not able to get right back to it. And now starting to stabilize for both of these teams. We're seeing less goals and a little bit more action in between the boxes.
That we are. We're starting to see a lot of physicality. It's not just goal after goal after goal like it was for the first minute of this game. We're starting to see some team plays. We're getting the bumps in, the demos in. The teams are starting to get physical with each other. And we're getting into the nitty-gritty of the game. Woo! Banger of a shot from Alpha. Jathan forced to make a split-second decision. And thankfully, they made the right one now, as Bedwetters in control halfway through, still in the lead. And Aspyre, the bump play! And that's what we were talking about the last series. Aspyre had to get those bump plays, but this time, Geoids, they mix both their team's game plans into one play, and it results in a goal.
Yeah. So frustrating there for Aspyre because, rotation-wise, you have that well covered. Sats is there. Alpha, is covering that near post, but, wanting to give a little bit of space. As soon as that bump comes through, Alpha not prepared to, eat up that space that now they're responsible for. And you can see how effective, this bumping playstyle is when it works. Right now, Sats trying to get it back there. Shot gonna be just a bit off here, but a 3-1 lead here. Got plenty of time, 2 minutes on the clock. And we know that Aspyre are able to score at a moment's notice, but where will those goals come from? Alpha to the corner. We'll get one challenge, keeps it up. Demo needs no one back for this one. Geoids, almost a shot off the backboard. Jathan will slow it down. Can't get the corner boost, but at least force them to waste theirs. And this will reset the attacking play for Bedwetters.
Well, 90 seconds to go now. They just got to keep on holding. The best way to hold is to not let the ball get into your half. If you stay on the attack, you stay on the front foot, there's just no way that a goal can go in on your side. And best case scenario, you just happen to score a goal on a solo play all the way down, carried it. Reveal finds their first goal of the game after being such a good scorer this entire night.
Yeah, really tough for that last defender there. Geoids was absolutely flying to that one. You could see that they were trying to read, that redirect shot, but the aerial actually itself will go in, as this one will go in from midfield here. Sats on the score.
They are, and just pops it up over Geoids. Geoids can't quite get high enough. You just don't have hops. Simple as that.
Yeah, something that I think that we've really seen Aspyre do well is they're getting these passes to the midfield, whether it is, kind of from behind the plate, whether it's from, playing from the walls. They're getting these redirects with a lot of pace towards net. I think it's something that they really have to continue to put pressure on this team with, because, they're getting those looks. It's just, can they hold off long enough to get those plays set up, because they don't come from nothing here. But that one seemingly came from nothing. Great transition play, one touch and a go. And that is exactly what you want if you want a recipe to win.
Absolutely. Alpha pops that one in and erases the deficit down to 1. They just got to score one more and we are all tied up. And this is a huge make or break moment for both of these teams, the Bedwetters. After allowing 2 go-aheads, they got to hold it down for 15 more seconds. And of course, for Aspyre, they just got to get one more in. Right now, the ball is on the blue half. Aspyre does have control, but Geo is just wasting all the time they can. That ball's a little high. Jathan will end game number 1. And with that, Bedwetters tie the series up thanks to the 1-game advantage. And Aspyre, they got really, really close in the end, but Bedwetters held on for just long enough.
Yeah, I think Bedwetters maybe not extremely happy that it got that close. But for right now, they will take the win when they could get it. Obviously, evening up the series is you know is exactly what they wanted, exactly what the doctor ordered. And the fact that I feel like all of their players are playing really well. Again, when we see reveal, you know, to kind of have a game and have a lot of impact and not be the highest scoring player on their team. Jathan having a whole bunch of success. Geoids is having a lot of impact in the midfield and creating room for teammates as well. But yeah, it's we have a little bit of a player restarting, so it is going to take a little bit of time for us to get into our next match. We will keep you updated on that, but yeah.
Yeah, and both of these teams can just use it as an excuse to take a little bit of time to calm your nerves and just slow things down. There's no need to rush. It's still early on in the series. You gotta basically completely reset best of 5 on your hand. It's the first to win 3, if that makes it a little easier for you. But the momentum definitely in Bedwetter's favor after taking game number 2. And if they can take game number 3, that'll put them in a really, really good spot for them. As they can get the first 2, they can just keep on tagging or keep tagging on the wins. And they keep tagging on the wins like they did in the first series that these two Titans played in, then they're going to have a really nice shot. But that also forces the chance at a reverse sweep for the
Mhm.
opposite team. So you got to be careful. And of course, the reverse sweep, it is all just like some bad luck. And mainly the team that's in the lead losing focus a little bit. And the Bedwetters, if they get to match point, there's 3 matches in a row. I don't think Aspyre is going to be able to keep up simply due to the fact that Bedwetters know that they just got to stay focused and they learn from their mistakes from the last series.
Yeah, you definitely hope, but I think this Aspire team again, it's a team that can score quickly in what we've seen. I think they're really starting to find out that those plays, starting from the midfield, those redirects are starting to work. It's whether or not they could kind of reproduce that. That might be the difficulty that they have. But hopefully we don't see Bedwetters, hot dogging it towards the end of a series. I don't think they'll do that now that they're this close, to actually getting a win in one of these series. But we've seen how they could play once they feel confident, maybe overconfident, in some of their previous matches here. It hasn't necessarily bit them too hard here, but against a opponent like this, I think they have a little bit more respect. I think they kind of know what they're in for, considering that they've lost to them already. But they would love to be in a situation where they have plenty of lives to really put away a series. So I'm sure that is kind of an ideal situation for them.
Oh, definitely. You just got to stay focused on the series. And like you said, both of these teams have so much respect for each other. So they're going to bring their A game. And honestly, I think this is going to be the true factor over which team is better. This series right here going to decide which one of these teams is truly better because I mean grand finals, the grand prize is on the line, the tournament's on the line, everybody's going to be playing at their best. And honestly, I don't think it's going to get much better than this. This is one of the best grand finals that we have seen in a little bit on the standard weekly tournament. So I am just glad to be here to witness it. And we should be ready to go almost pretty soon. Not sure what's taking so long. The computer taking quite some time to reset, but I'm not worried. We'll be back on the show pretty soon.
Yeah, I think we are pretty good. Looks like they have their comms good to go, and kind of talking a little bit about this matchup. It's incredibly difficult to beat teams 2 times in a row in a tournament. Um, so it is one of those things where we are able to see these teams go back at it, and for Aspyre, they have to kind of keep this up. They're trying to beat a team twice, and there'll be credit to them for being able to do it. But on the other side, Bedwetter, having seen it before, trying to right their wrongs here, and looking again in great form most of this tournament. They're trying to correct it here. So we get into what is game number 3, second game played here. Now both teams have a win under their belt. Who can take the advantage here?
I think one thing that gives Bedwetters the advantage here is that they have an official win. Of course, Aspyre, they have one win to their name, but Bedwetters know what it's like to win. They feel what it is like to get the better of Aspyre, and Aspyre, they know what it feels like, but that's from the last series. Bedwetters, they have the about as quick as you can get it, and they know how to win against this team, against the latest version of this team. But Aspyre, trying to switch the pace up and possibly implementing some new strategies that all the way across the field pass does strike, and it strikes very hard. Aspyre take the lead first in this game number 3, as Jathan making things a little bit dangerous, but does not stay in danger for long. Or maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Maybe
Waterfall
it does.
Here, reveal, a little bit awkward, and quite a few opportunities now for Bedwetters as they, behind, now pushing the tempo. But, something we see from Aspyre, they're getting really comfortable, shooting from distance. Reveal, looking for the tie, but the woodwork gonna deny it. Defense for Aspyre, holding out strong here. And what a wonderful read there. Gator should buy some time for the other players as Boost was getting low. Now Jathan trying to find some teammates on the side wall. Will find Geoids eventually. Flip reset, but not going to get past the midfield. It's going to be Alpha. Alpha. No boost. Has to leave it. Shot coming through. Takes 2 to really keep that one away. And we're seeing quite a bit of confidence here from this Aspyre squad.
We are. And you can tell it in the way that they play. They're getting aggressive. They're taking the shots a lot quicker. And the team with confidence is typically the team that plays faster. And the team that plays faster is oftentimes the team that's playing better. And this time shows to be true. Alpha with the goal ties this match. Actually, no, extends the lead to 2 now. And Aspyre starting to leave Bedwetters in the dust. They've got to speed up the pace because right now, Aspyre's is playing a little bit quicker than they are.
Yeah, and they're really forcing Bedwetters into some awkward situations. That last goal, how it beat those defenders kind of reminds me, as another goal will go in here, but kind of reminds me of a baseball player taking a ground ball and getting the best of them, kind of getting in towards the chest. Right now, that bumping meta that we've seen from Bedwetters coming back to play here, opening up an opportunity. Now, only a 1-goal deficit.
It is. It's the set up play and then the bump. If you can get the pass off and you got nothing better to do, just go for the bump. Try to get that goalie out of there. I guarantee you that you'll score a goal at least 1 time out of 5. As I mean, right there, that was it. That was the goal that they needed to bring this game within arm's reach. And they just got to keep on looking for those opportunities. With 2 minutes to go, this should be no problem for the Bedwetters. Unless the defense of Aspyre has something to say about it.
Well, I think this Aspyre squad is a team that plays really well with a lead. We kind of saw in the 2 games that they lost here As Alpha scores another one here. Two games that they lost in the previous series, it was kind of over quickly, but when they scored and they had quite a lead, they were able to really build upon that. They continue to do so here. 3-1 for Aspyre.
Insurance goal is given back, and now,
Taken away.
Taken away.
Taken away, right there.
Reveal, kickoff goal, Bedwetters back within one. And just like that, Aspyre, they're right back to square one. Up by one, and they got to defend against the Bedwetters for another minute and a half. But this time, they have more work to do. Bedwetters super stoked that they got the kickoff goal. They got some momentum on their side.
Absolutely. And now, for Aspyre, I think they really want to get an extra one here. Gio try to get in the faces of both defenders there. Not really worried about the goal, but Alpha, hat trick for them. And what a performance here. Wonderful pass here from Sats, and just getting up and over the last defender reveal. Tough predicament here, but Aspyre continue to pour it on.
And if we just keep going back and forth between goal Aspyre, goal Bedwetters, eventually it's going to go in favor of Aspyre, because, I mean, Aspyre, they have the lead, the 2-point lead. And the Bedwetters, they can bring it within one, but they got to tie it up at least, and that's just to send it into overtime. And 2 goals within 50 seconds, it's difficult. It is doable, but with how Aspyre has been playing, a lot of work needs to be done. I think they got to up the bump plays by about 200% if they want a shot.
Truly. All right, well, Jathan trying to give them a way back in. Waterfall opportunity. Jathan sent away. Reveal. Not a lot of boost to work with here. Trying to stick around the play, but it'll be Jathan off the top. Sats does well to at least have a little bit of presence on the backboard, which is something that we did not see. Midfield shot blocked away yet again. That is going to be a savior medal for Sats. Well deserved here. And time running out. That'll be sent the other way. And Aspyre, the favorites in this one, according to chat, will take game number 3. They will now have the advantage.
They will, and that game was so good. Aspyre just kept the Bedwetters at bay. They got that 2-goal lead, and it was all over for Bedwetters. Did not matter if the Bedwetters were able to score, because Aspyre was able to get it right back. And if they can just keep playing that game, then there's no way that they can lose. Get the 2-goal lead and just go goal for goal. They've got this series easily, but unfortunately, it is not that easy. You got a really solid squad in front of you. Bedwetters, a team that respects you a lot, a team that you have to respect, or they will burn you every single time. Mm-hmm. And Bedwetters, will be very easy for them to put out the fire once they get going. Aspyre, they are on fire right now. They're playing perfectly, but the Bedwetters can get going just as fast. And once they get going, they're hard to stop. They're like a very well-oiled machine. And Aspyre, I'm not sure if even they can keep up with a Bedwetters that is firing on all cylinders, because we saw what happened in the last half of the last series.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the wonderful things about this squad is I think they had we saw that not every player was playing to their potential here for for the Bedwetters. We saw it when they've had these wonderful team wins, they've really been able to each of them have had very clear impact. They didn't quite have that here for this one. So very excited to see them kind of get back into that.
Well, we're going to have another reset. So one more time, we'll be taking a short break. Not a break, but a little bit of an intermission, as someone disconnected. So we're going to remake the lobby. We're going to be starting from game number 4. And yeah, lobbies, not the series for these lobbies. Not too much luck here, but hopefully for the rest of the series, it'll be smooth sailing and we'll be able to keep on playing game after game after game, and we won't have to keep resetting the lobby because we want to keep playing. We want to take this as smooth as possible, and I'm sure the players do as well. They want to play because, I mean, all this does is just get you out of your groove, and that is the one thing that you don't want. Once you get in that groove, you want to stay in it until you win it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for the players, it's kind of up to their mental fortitude here of how they're able to deal with some of these things that are completely out of their control. Tech issues are bound to happen. They happen at the highest level. But really, it's how can you maintain that consistency of your play. So very, very interesting to see how they respond here as we get everything back. And I actually got booted for the party. So if you actually send me an invite so I could get back in, I'd appreciate that.
Yeah, I got you, man.
Perfect.
Do I? I might not.
Maybe.
I think I lied. I might have lied.
No worries. Hold on.
Okay.
I was wondering if you could get me from that.
Possible. Let me see what we got here. Nope.
There we go.
There we go.
Perfect.
All right, we are good to go. And with that, we are ready to get underway. Game number 4, Aspyre take the lead from the last match, and now they just got to keep on trucking along. And like you said, this is a team that does very well when they are in control, and a team that does great when they have the lead. So if they can strike first in this game, then they will be sitting real pretty in a very, very good spot to be in key if you get the lead first. And this game is a huge game because it will force a series of points. So scoring first is huge, especially when you're a team like Aspyre that thrives off of being in the lead.
Yeah, absolutely. And Aspyre, again, getting that first goal super important for them, and it's forcing Bedwetters to have to be more proactive on that defensive side. That second and third man for Aspyre are getting so brave, really, getting that second, third, fourth opportunity, from distance. They're not getting it in close quarters. They're kind of getting these awkward angles from the side, these redirects that are really giving them a little bit of trouble here. But Jathan will even it up. They're going back and forth. It's a heavyweight boxing match we have here tonight.
That it is, the two titans of the tournament. I think this was absolutely the correct grand final. I don't think there's any team that is better than these two. As I mean, just the entire tournament, they have been dominant. And like you said, heavyweight boxing match. It's been haymaker after haymaker. And I don't think it's going to stop any time soon. These two teams, they're just going to keep bringing the pain. They're going to keep bringing the punches, and they're going to keep rolling with them as well. That is a very important part. You take a punch, you just got to roll with it. And both of these teams, they're doing that pretty well. They just got to keep focused, stay on their game. I know I've said that quite a bit tonight, but bear with me. Because it's right. You just got to keep going through your motion, getting the passing plays, rotating well. So far, we've not seen too many rotation errors. Knock on wood. Ooh, let's not start now.
But yeah, and part of this, obviously, it's such a mechanical game here, but really, it's not only about mechanics, but your consistency of mechanics, and that gets down to your mentality of getting to maybe not play at your peak, but play at a sustainable level for as long as you possibly can. So for these players, it's it's a test every time they're out on the pitch of how they can really get to their peak form. So right now, both these teams really trying to battle with them here. As we're seeing, I think both teams, again, they're getting in that lull of the game where they're really trying to open up some opportunities. midfield play. Jathan will at least stop that for now. Pass in the middle of the field. Reveal shot just off the post. Not going to happen. Wonderful opportunity, and then it's been a few here for Bedwetters that they have not been able to really put away.
Been so close so many times. This one, though, will land. Jathan sneaks that one in, and Bedwetters take the lead, put Aspyre behind, and they have a lot of time left on the clock. Aspyre just got to make it work. We've talked about how fast they can attack, and they've got to show it off right here.
Yeah, really no dull moments for each of these teams. You know, it could be flipped like a switch offensively. Right now, you know, we see, I love these deep clearances here from Aspyre because they turn defense into offense, I think, better than any team we've seen so far in the tournament. It's one of the dangerous things about them is just how many times can they really put that kind of pressure on Bedwetters. Another opportunity here. Alpha just coming off the hat trick will get a touch, but the shot is going to be blocked yet again. Jathan has to go against one. The follow-up reveal blocked yet again here.
Aspyre, a great way to save that goal, but they got to get into their opponent's goal themselves. The saying is defense wins championships, but when you're down, your defense does not matter. 1 minute to go, and Bedwetters not letting off of the gas pedal. Aspyre staying out of range, and they just get a little bit further. Bedwetters up by 2 now. And just like that, the hat trick from Jathan, the insurance goal for the Bedwetters, and they might just take game number 4 off of that.
Yeah, anything you can do, I could do better, and that's kind of what Bedwetters are showing here. A hat trick here for Jathan, and it's something that we, you know, maybe it is just individual players that, you know, will be the difference here in between the series. Gator will have an opening here just to kind of push this through, as I don't know exactly what happened on rotation. GeoH just kind of got caught looking, and we'll make this a lot closer in the final 35 seconds of this match.
Yeah, Aspyre, they did this in the last match, that they lost too. They made it real close in the end, and all of a sudden it's close, and the Bedwetters are forced into a hold on for dear life scenario. Thankfully for them, they are one of the best teams at holding on for dear life. But I mean, when you're going up against such an explosive offense like Aspyre, it's so easy to let a fluke one in. I mean, right there, that was anything but a fluke shot, and it almost went in, but the defense held on. Just got to get this ball to touch the ground. Stays up for now. That's an awkward touch, and Aspyre staying alive. Alpha looking for the touch. 0-second goal. It's gotta be Alpha. 3-3 as we go into overtime. And Aspyre, they want match point as soon as possible.
Yeah, and if you're Bedwetters, that is the absolute nightmare of a touch. But, you know, now they're in this situation, have to immediately focus on what they're going to do next. Their response here, reveal from the corner. Top down, Geoids off the backboard. A little too risky here for Jathan to go. Gets a little bit of boost. Challenge at the midfield, and now reveal. Sends it up. Jathan, met by 2, actually will fake it. Reveal the shot. Blocked by Sats, who kind of hovered there for a second. And it looks like Aspyre will survive for now. Geoids, immediate pressure. Reveal, blocked yet again. And Bedwetters just can't buy a goal.
They cannot. Gator, though, just have to hit this double tap, and they will do it. The comeback win for Aspyre. What an outrageous finish to game number 4. The 0-second goal, and then the finish in overtime with that Aspyre tournament point, series point, whatever you want to call it. They're one game away from taking the lion's share.
Yeah, I think Bedwetters, they really wanted a defiant win here, and they weren't able to get it. Aspyre crawled back into this one. And I said they played well with the lead, but now all of a sudden they're playing well from behind, had the mental fortitude to really get back into this one. So we will see how this goes. I credit to Aspyre for really battling through, but Bedwetters, you saw them at the end or right before that goal in overtime. They had a few chances. They were knocking at the door, and Aspyre basically kicked in the door from the other side, saying, "You got nothing on us."
I mean, yeah, that's about as good as you can get it. Bedwetters, they had that game. Let's be honest. They had it. 3-2-1. They were looking on top of the world. Then all of a sudden, it just all fell apart. Aspyre, goal after goal. Then the overtime goal as well. And that's what really sealed the deal. The overtime goals are so demoralizing. And Aspyre, they just rode that all the way to victory. Bedwetters, they had an opportunity in the front half of overtime. But I mean, after that, it just all went downhill for Bedwetters. And now, with all the momentum in the world, Aspyre coming off of 2 straight victories, look to make it 3 and take the series and the tournament.
Yeah, and for Aspyre, they're really starting to get into a that feeling of they can stretch the field at any point, which we saw on that last that 0-second goal where they are really able to take at any point. They're able to take off and score. For Bedwetters, now it doesn't feel like any lead is really safe because it felt like they were dominating games and they really feel like they could go in and do that. Now, unfortunately, it's like, well, they gave up that goal, or kind of a little bit of demoralizing here for Bedwetters. Hopefully, we will be able to see them, kind of get back into this one. But now we will start. It is gonna be a new game here. It's gonna be fresh for both of these teams, and maybe they could get rid of some of those the overtime blues here for Bedwetters.
Yeah, you got to do something to shake off that blues. I think if they don't score here, then they might just be done for. Because, I mean, you cannot come off of losing the comeback and letting that game get away from you and then not score first. If Aspyre scores first, I think this tournament's over. Because you just do not come back from that unless you have a will to win that's made of diamond.
It looks like right now they're putting a lot of pressure on this team. Is Reveal able to get back to this one? No, not quite. And my, oh my, have they just been monsters from that, kind of midfield line on. They just get that infield pass. They're able to put a dangerous shot on target. And right now, Bedwetters don't have an answer for that.
They really don't. They got to find something, though. They've got to do anything. At this point, try literally anything, because Aspyre is completely running away with it, and the Bedwetters are in deep, deep trouble. They've reached their last point. They need to pull off the Baker's reverse sweep if they want to win it. And, I mean, they allowed the first goal in, but they managed to strike back pretty quickly. I believe it was the demo play, actually. Oh, no, Alpha just committed too quick.
And that demo definitely made it a little bit easier because there was coverage, but did not account for that demo. And, taking a little bit of their play from the Aspyre book, just getting, hard shots from the midfield play. Bedwetters seem to be good for one at least. They seem to be good for, going back and forth with Aspyre. But, Aspyre, they're, kind of dealing with a hot hand right now. They feel like each of these players can get a score when needed. Gator almost getting one from an absolutely insane angle right there. Still plenty of time to play. 3 minutes to go on this one.
It's a lot of time for both of these teams to make their magic pop. Because, I mean, these two teams can strike at the speed of light. So you always got to be careful like that. The pass and pop pass to the teammate Jathan was almost on the demo play. Jathan does it once more. And the Bedwetters take the lead. Geoid specifically stalling as long as possible to give his man a little bit of time to get closer to get that demo.
And there's no call either. There's no way to see him. Jathan was basically stalking that corner boost pad. Was there just in case, saw that, the play is definitely going to beat at least one. Let me make some room. And all those players so heavily focused on the ball carry at that point, which why wouldn't you be? But Alpha on the other side to even it up, and looks like we're getting rid of defense here. Just give me all the goals. That's all I need.
A little bit of trickery right there from Aspyre, because they had the one player going at it from one angle and then another going at a different angle. A risky play because it involved all three players, but in the end, high risk, high reward is the name of the game. And this time, they get the high reward. They tie this game up off of the risky three-man play. But they still got to score one more time. With 2 minutes to go, we're all tied up.
Geoids on the back line. Alpha, nice challenge. Phil has to go early on this one, but puts it right in the hands of Sats. Sats dispossessed early. And both these teams, they're putting so much pressure, and they really can't make any missteps defensively. Both teams are so ready to punish you here. Alpha trying to fight through the entire team from that near post position. It'll be Gator taken away from that play. Challenges on both sides here. Geoids will wait, hesitate for a bit, and try to put that in the middle of the field. Not a lot of help there. Instead, it'll be Sats yet again playing it over. Back post, shot on target, but the follow-up, that'll be the one. That's the killer. It's Gator again here. Third goal to put him up.
That it was once again the three-man play. They had all three of their players in the attacking half of the field, and the Bedwetters just don't know what to do. It's such a risky play, but they're getting them all the time. Bedwetters are not punishing them, so the risk is well worth it, especially if it means possibly winning this tournament, because, I mean, Aspyre up by 1 minute to go. This team plays so well when they're up. They don't just blow leads. That is not how they play. They play to win, and they're just going to keep the goals coming if Bedwetters will let them. I mean, there's a great touch by that player on Aspyre right there to pin that ball deep in the blue half.
Yeah, now that Aspyre are kind of in that protect mode, it's really dangerous here for Bedwetters. They might not get any more golden opportunities. They might have to force their way through, but it could leave them open for a counterattack there. Almost some friendly fire. Close call. 30 seconds remaining here. Reveal. Can they show us something special? The pass. Geoids a misflip. Backflips on that one. Clear opportunity, at least for the shot. And Gator, no one on the other side. Could ice it away? That's goal number 4 for Aspyre, and that probably is the tourney right there.
That one's it. I don't think you're coming back from that after doing all of that work. Setting it up, the Bedwetters fall just short, and they simply can't get out of bed. 10 seconds to go. They got to get a goal off of this next attack right here. Reveal. This has to land. Simple as that. It doesn't. It is out. Aspyre are your Blizzard champions. Number 58. Absolutely unreal. Aspyre, after all of that, after such a hard battle, they take the high road. They stay on the high horse. and they ride it all the way into the sunset as your champions. What a tourney, Cobra.
Yeah, truly. And, being able to get some of these matches over and being able to see how they progress through the tournament, getting a few rematches in here. Wonderful entertainment. Aspyre doing the improbable, beating this team twice here. But again, very deserved here. Wonderful games here from Gator Alpha and Sats. And they will be your winners for the tournament.
That they will. And honestly, I do not think that could have gone any other way. Aspyre, rightful champions right there. They just played so much better than everyone, even in the end. In the first series that they had, the winners final, they were pretty neck and neck. But I think with that grand final, I don't think there's any doubt that Aspyre is the better team. And a big GG's to the Bedwetters for coming in second place, taking the $30 prize. But Aspyre, congratulations. They are the Blizzard 58 champions, and they will be taking the lion's share of the $100, $70 to their name now, or $70 added to their name now. And yeah, that's it, Cobra. Thank you for joining me. Anything you want to say before we head on out of here?
Besides a quick thank you to our sponsors again, the Trolley server. You guys got to join because they have the wonderful, huge, like beanbag chair. You guys got to join, as well as $100. But that custom trolley, love sack plus $100. Make sure you do that. Again, shout out to the people behind the scene, Nick pressing all of the buttons to make sure that this stream works out. And again, congratulations to the teams that we were able to see on stream.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say. You rounded it up pretty well.
Took it from you.
Congratulations.
Took it from you.
Yeah, congratulations to Aspyre. GG's to Bedwetters. GG's to everyone else that competed in the tournament. Thank you all to everyone who run it. Thank you all for coming and watching some great Rocket League action. One more time. That guy on the right of your screen, that's been Cobra. I have been Star Coin Hero, aka Dream. And we will see you later. Make sure to come back tomorrow for some more Rocket League action. You definitely do not want to miss it. But for now, we're out of here. Have a great rest of your night, guys.